There we go. So our solution on this one, no matter which method you use, we should still get the same answer of 3, 1. Was there a technique on this one that was easy peasy, or a technique on this one that was awful?
The substitution was good.
The substitution on this one's not bad. It's really easy to get this into either an x equals or a y equals. So substitution's not bad. Substitution's okay. Not awful. How about our elimination? So that would have been group C. How was the elimination on this one? Yeah. All right. I'm my turn to talk, guys. The elimination on this is also not horrible. It's already set up with those letters that are going to eliminate out. If we think through our elimination, that's where we come through and we usually like add these things together in columns, where we get our 3x, y plus minus y cancels out, and we'd have a 9. That kind of guy where we're adding x plus 2x, y plus minus y, like this. Vaguely familiar? So the elimination on this one is not terrible either. How was graphing on this one? That would be A. If you did page A. How was your graphing on this one?
It was confusing on the last one.
Yeah, the second one's not very nice because it's got that minus y. Elimination's okay. Graphing was not great. Doable, but not great. So I'm going to switch that to be white because I don't like the pink on the red. That's awful. Not great graphing. Probably the hardest way to go on this one is the graphing one. But no matter what we do, this one's not terrible because we don't have a ton of coefficients, a ton of numbers in front. Then let's look at the next system. This was for person A, it was your substitution. For person B, it was your elimination. And for person C, it was your graphing. What did we get as an answer? It's entirely possible that you have a decimal or a fraction. Super duper close, super duper close. Because we should have a negative 2.5, which will give us a negative 4. What technique is this one probably best set up for? If we just take a look at this. What do we think? What would be the easiest way to attack this thing? Substitution. I have a y equals. I could take the fact that I know y equals this thing and substitute it in place of that y. So if we were to set this one up as substitution, we would get our 2x minus 3 times that 4x plus 6. That's a 6. Looked like a tornado. Equals the 7. So if we did our substitution, it's already set up as a y equals. For our substitution, we needed to have a y equals or an x equals. It doesn't matter which one, but we need something that's a y equals or an x equals so we can plug it in. So this one's probably set up best for substitution. How was elimination with this one?
No.
Not pleasant. You have to do a lot of prep work to be able to make your elimination work. Because you have to get your x's and y's on the same side. You have to get them to have that same coefficient out in front. And then do your elimination. So there's quite a bit more prep work on our elimination than, say, something like this one. I know you did. That doesn't mean that's the same for everybody. So I gave you that one. Okay. So our substitution, because we have that y equals, is probably our best option there. So y equals is why we would want to do that one. And then for system number 3, that would be person A's elimination. person B's graphing, I'm sorry. And person C's substitution, which is also gross, but less gross. What is this one set up-ish for? This one's pretty closely set up. Yeah. I would go for elimination on this one. It's close. We would still need to do some work to be able to get our coefficients to have the same number because we need for one letter to cancel out. So I'm going to need to multiply. If we want the y's to cancel out, we do this one by 3 and this one by 2 so that we get 6's. So positive 6y minus 6y, we'd get no y's. That's what we want. We want somebody to cancel out. Doing this one with substitution takes a lot of prep work. To get somebody down to be a y equals, it's going to be fractiony. Doable. It's doable, but it is fractiony. And graphing on this one is particularly terrible. So person B has the worst graphing problem. So I would highly recommend doing this one with our elimination, which is what we did for person A. Do we have a solution for this one? Person A, what would you get as our solutions?
This Wi-Fi is terrible.
Hmm?
How does your TV be working with this Wi-Fi booty?
I mean, luckily this is working.
Oh, I think she called it a TV.
Oh, I mean, not a TV. What is it called?
Oh, my board? What's going on with my board?
A Prometheus.
Well, it works as one, kind of. It doesn't get reception.
When we go watch a movie.
We don't get to. There's a lot of paperwork involved in that, and it has to align with curriculum, and I don't have a way to make that work.
Hidden Figures. They got
Would be the only one I might have opportunity for, but it's a lot of paperwork to get that approved by the board.
Not even on the last day of school.
Oppenheimer.
You would have to go to
Worse. It has to align with the curriculum. That's the problem. Is it has to align. That's why English classes get away with it, is because you're comparing the different media, which is a part of your state standards.
Okay, so what would you consider?
Yeah.
The problem is I can't get it to line up. The only one I could get to line up would be Donald in Mathmagic Land, which is, by the way, epic.
Comparing, what do you call this? It's like the curriculum.
No, the Indiana state standards.
Yes.
Yes, it would have to align.
I get that.
Uh-huh.
What are you calling that? Like, what?
I don't know what you mean.
Because there's a thing that I have.
It's frozen. Look through your workbook. There we go. I have a pen back. So we should get to one. It would be the ones we have left. We've got quadratic functions and exponential functions left. And exponentials. Okay, so we're going to work with systems, then quadratics, and then exponentials. Okay, so this one is really set up quite well for elimination. And we're going to keep working with these. We're going to use all 3 techniques throughout the rest of this chapter. Like, I'm not teaching you new techniques. We're going to keep practicing with them. It's going to be a lot of context and a lot of story problems and a lot of how we choose what we do and a lot of why we do what we do. Okay, so the calculations are all based off of these, which is why we have that foldable. So if we ever forget what to do, we have our little helpful friend right here. Help us through. Okay? Just because, like, this is the only, like, page where they have you actually go through the actual process. The next one we're going to do is we're going to do the page before this tomorrow, and then the only other one where we really even have space to work the problem is the one after that. After that, it's all stories. Lots of stories. Yeah, we're going to do that one tomorrow. It's, okay. I was going to say, it's vaguely Battleship-esque. I'm going to give a couple of equations. You have to figure out where you would drop your mines to make it hit the other boats. But it's one of those, I want to just remember how we deal with equations before we play with the thing. They have them switched in there, and I'm like, that's a lot of remembering to try and do in one day. Mm-hmm. And that's true for a lot of us, because a lot of us did geometry last year instead of doing not algebra 2, and that's okay.